We are still here at the standard finishing booth at Printing United. And Johan, good to see you again.
Yeah, good afternoon, Morten. Good to see you again.
Last year we had a busy tour, right?
We did, yes, yeah.
And how has it been this year for you? I mean, a lot of people, right?
It's been very busy, yeah. We didn't know what was going to happen in Orlando with Printing United, but we have more VIP signed up than the last couple of years, and they've been coming. So it's been really busy here from basically yesterday, 9 o'clock, all day long. So
I think you can expect it to be busy during the whole show, right?
That's why we come here, yes.
Yeah,
we want to be busy, absolutely.
We're going to talk about stitchers today. So we have 3 on the program, right?
Correct, yes, yeah.
And we are starting with the top of the notch, right?
Correct, yeah. So Horizon is a whole stitching family. And the top of the line, as you say, is a StitchLiner Mark V, which is really geared towards high quality finishing for digital output. So either sheet fed, we have HSF50, which is a high-speed sheet feeder, so digital output in sheets can go in there, but also roll fed. So we're showing a Hunkeler unwinder cutter here, feeding the Mark V. At the same time, we're open to different platforms. If you're a Tecnau customer or EMT customer, we can connect the Mark V to that solution as well.
When you talk about connecting to both Hunkeler, EMT and Tecnau, does that mean that all the electronics between the different systems now to work as one unified solution?
They do, yes. It's not just ready, not ready. It's actually complete speed control. So depending on the job you're running, depending on the sheet count, there's a different cycle time. And so we basically communicate from Horizon to the unwinder cutter, how fast can we run this job to get optimal throughput and get just the speed based on that. They can also read different jobs on the Hunkeler or the Tecnau cutter and send that information over to the Mark V for an automated changeover from job to job, fully automated based on a data matrix read. So it's a fully integrated system.
So you have been in both EMT and Tecnau schools since last year, right?
Exactly, yes.
Exactly.
Yep,
okay.
exactly.
Fantastic. You say that it can do both roll-based and sheet-fed, but the StitchLiner Mark V is mainly intended to be roll-fed, right?
It used to be, but actually we have several customers now who buy this for only cut sheet input.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so
because I remember we did the launch of that in Germany, and that was web-based, and I was just like, okay, I thought that was the main thing, but I knew that it could do sheets as well. But so you see, the market is using the machine a little bit different than it was intended, or
yeah. So we have a cut sheet inkjet press or an indigo press, and you have cut sheets, so we can actually feed from a high-speed sheet feeder faster in meters per minute or feet per minute than from the roll. So it's a very fast productive system for sheet fed as well. And again, we see customers now just buying it for sheet fed. So it's a nice win for all of us.
Just a few weeks ago, I was at the Finishing First event in Quickborn.
Yeah,
right?
I was there as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't see you, did I?
No, we
you were
didn't
too
meet
busy.
them. Yeah.
No. I was only there for a few hours. But at that time, you also announced that you're going up in the larger format sizes on a lot of the Horizon equipment. Is that also things like this that we can see in the future, having a larger format size, or?
On the stitcher, I believe that what we have now is basically fit for everything. 23-inch wide web, and then the right size for sheet fit. So the Mark V is a great solution the way it is, I believe. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, should we move from 5 to 4?
Yes, we will do that. Yeah.
I mean, we just came from the 5, and now we are in front of the well-known 4.
Exactly. Yeah. So StitchLiner Mark IV, which is a follow-up of the Mark III, and the StitchLiner 3500. So tons of these in the field. It's really a system. The Mark V was really for digital, sheet fed or roll fed. This one is a hybrid for offset as well as a sheet fed digital. So we have a half, which is also a high-speed sheet feeder on the Mark IV. And then if it's traditional printing from offset, we have different towers here, the VAC towers. So you put your offset sheets in there, and then they collate and then go into the stitcher. If you have both workflows, you combine the sheet feeder for digital and the towers for offset, and you have a complete solution for everything.
One of the things, and I guess you know that, is that we have been also on behalf of Horizon visiting Saxo Print in Dresden in Germany, right?
Okay, yep.
And it's very interesting because they have actually started to take a lot of their folding machines out and replace them with Mark IV.
Exactly, there's no more folding required.
Yeah,
that's one of the benefits, yes.
Yeah, because also what they do now, they robotize basically the cut sheets from the offset machines, cut them into the size they need, feed them into the tower, and then you have like a very fast and very convenient solution, basically. Right?
And you skip one step, right? So it's out the door much faster that way.
Precisely, yeah.
Yep.
Is that something you also see in the American market, that there's this interest of automation on the guillotine level, or?
So we definitely see, yeah. I mean, if people can avoid the folding step in advance and still keep the same productivity, that's a win for everybody. So you will definitely see that adoption very fast here in the US.
So the Mark IV is of course a few years old, but it's still a very productive machine, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So the Mark V is a little bit faster, but not much. Yeah, it's about books per hour. It's actually about the same throughput on this machine.
But it's not like machines that could replace each other, right? It still have different needs, right?
They have different needs, yeah. Again, if you're all digital, the Mark V is your better solution. If you want to have a hybrid and do some sheet offset finishing as well, then the Mark IV is the best system for the high-end saddle stitching solution.
I like this machine, and one of the things, as far as I remember, it has both. You can both do 1, 2, 3, and 4 stitches on it, right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Multiple
because I
stitches.
think that's also important that sometimes that people know that you have these options, because different countries can have different standards for how they do things, right?
Correct. Yeah. You can basically do 2 up, have 4 stitches, and then do a double cut in the end, a gutter cut, and you have 2 booklets coming out on the back side here. So this is just one book. If it's a small booklet, we can just do 2 up.
Yeah. Fantastic. So this is, of course, something that is well known by a lot of people. But now we're going to see something entirely new, right?
Exactly, yes. We have a brand new system on the floor as well here.
Should we disappear again for a second?
We'll walk there now, yes, let's do that. All right, good to see you again.
So the newest baby of the family, right?
Exactly, yes. It's the SPF 2000 ICE stitcher. So this is a booklet-making production system. So Mark IV, Mark V, or saddle stitchers, this is a booklet-making system. It replaces the SPF 200, which has been on the market for about 50 years. We sold hundreds of those over the past 50 years. And SPF 2000 can, like the Mark IV, can take collated digital sheets, as well as the same towers on Mark IV can be placed on this machine as well.
Okay.
So again, a hybrid solution.
Yeah. So basically, what you say here is that for, if you look, when we started with the Mark V, because that is like the top of the line with speed and automation and features. Yeah. And then you come to this one that has a little bit longer shelf life, and then you move to something that is maybe very interesting for smaller printing companies, implants, companies that are specialized in booklets and things like that. Is that correct? Or?
That is correct, yeah. So kind of an entry-level booklet making system. So compared to the SPF 200, it's a smaller footprint. So implants definitely often short on space. So a smaller footprint. It's a little bit faster. Actually pretty close to the other ones, but a little bit faster than the SPF 200. But especially the changeover time between jobs is twice as fast. Okay. So it's a machine for lots of runs, lots of small quantities, lots of changeover. So each time you're in, half the time. So in terms of jobs per day, this is going to definitely outcompete the older systems.
It's called Ice Stitcher. I guess that's why it can be integrated to the IceLink, right?
Correct. Yeah. So IceLink is Horizon's production system for the bindery control system. Ice Stitcher, so all the new Horizon machines are ICE labeled. That means it's ready to be connected to IceLink, which is a cloud-based system.
Yeah, because it's also, as I understand from the IceLink, it's like an IoT solution. So it monitors the system, and it monitors not just Horizon equipment, but almost everything in your production, right? So you can keep an eye on if you have any bottlenecks or if you have any plant maintenance and things
Correct,
like that.
Yes, right? Yeah. It can be very basic. It's actually called IoT Basic, and that's basically KPI, and that's free of charge. We can also go all the way to a fully automated JDF-based workflow, which is an enterprise version, and then you can basically steer all your machines in the shop with fully automated JDF-based systems. So in addition to the faster speed and changeover time, it's also a higher quality than it used to be. So jogging the sheets is critical when you collate the different jobs. So there's some air that they created at the infeed here to make sure the sheets are jogged nice and tight. Right now we have 2 stitching heads, can go up to 4. And then as it goes in, after stitching, we do a fold. There's a hold down system in the folding unit to make sure that when we fold, there's no skewing. And the same in the trimmer, so there's a face trimmer. And there as well, we make sure we hold that booklet ready, so when we do the face trim, everything is straight. And then most importantly, we want to keep it as a very flexible system. So we can do a landscape booklet
Oh, that's
as
nice.
well as a portrait booklet, all in the same machine.
And I was just thinking, as we all can see, we're here Printing United. So how has the interest been for these 3 machines?
It's been really good. So stitching has been definitely on uptick for us. A lot of interest in basically the whole portfolio we have. So of course a new machine always gets attention, but everything is basically doing
But
really
I
well.
mean, last year we saw from your colleague the BQ 280, right? So it seems that also the entry-level machines are really getting an upgrade, right?
Yeah, so even if you have entry level, you still want the full automation to do lots of small jobs in a short amount of time. So,
Johan, always a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for your time, Martin. Good to see you again.
Take care.